wrestling championships. People are very quick to tell you they're prop. To me, this represents all the hard work I've put in.
What a year you've had.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to take it as it comes.
Not every wrestler has that definitive moment. You have that.
Yeah, shaving it myself felt like a definitive change, and I'm just trying to carve my own path.
Before you signed with AEW, there was some interest from WWE. How close were you to signing there?
We spoke about what the deal would entail, but AEW was just the right fit.
What made it the right fit?
I think
the way you work with Ospreay. You guys aren't afraid to hit each other hard.
I think we're both the same kind of insane.
You can't practice a Spanish fly off the top of a cage.
No, you cannot.
How did you know it would work?
Well,
the dead eye off the top rope. That could have gone so bad.
Yeah, it didn't though.
Is there a line you won't cross?
I haven't got there yet.
This is a slippery slope though.
It is.
You have to outdo that.
That's a promise.
Where does it go from here?
My big picture goal is...
I gotta say, I'm a big Hot Mulligan fan.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
When did you discover them?
They opened for Census Fail when I went to see Census Fail in 2019.
Awesome, that's cool.
So I go back here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hell yeah. I hope the theme song was a nice surprise for you.
It was. I was like, wait a second. Because I knew Hot Mulligan were wrestling fans.
Uh-huh.
But then to cross over and do a theme, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
How'd you make that happen?
So I had been a fan of them, I would say probably like since COVID times, followed them on socials or whatever it was. And then when I started doing stuff with AEW, I think they started following me back, and like I was sharing their songs on my posts, and like they were commenting on them and stuff. And then it just turned into like an Instagram conversation one day. And I had this urge. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to, like, it's one of those things that you always think about. Like, it would be so cool if one of my favorite bands did like a theme song for me that I could walk out to. So it just like popped into my head. I was like, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Like,
right.
So I just asked, and they were like, dude, this is something we've wanted to do forever. Like, I think this would be so cool. Let me start talking to people. And then it was just a matter of putting AEW in touch with their manager, and then they sorted it all out. And then they're like, yeah, we'll send you through something when we have something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So then when you heard the first cut, were you like, incredible, this is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was pretty, it's hard to picture it when you first hear it. I think that was the thing that I had to wrap my head around. It's like hearing that first draft, it's like, okay, how am I going to look walking out to this? It's you really got to try and visualize it. So it's kind of until you walk out with it and you see the final product, it's hard to know how it's going to come across. But like after walking out that first time and feeling walking out with it, and then watching it back after, I was like, oh yeah, now it makes sense. Now it's all come together pretty well.
I mentioned something on my podcast a while back that I was like, I never owned a vintage Austin 316 t-shirt.
Okay.
And then I got a DM from Hot Mulligan. They were like, we listened to that episode and we'd like to send you some vintage t-shirts.
That is so cool.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Oh man, that's so awesome.
And a week later, I got a package of all these vintage t-shirts, and I was like, not only are they one of my favorite bands, they're my favorite human beings.
Yep, they're just cool as hell.
Oh,
yeah, just
amazing.
Just takes them to that next level. It's pretty cool.
What a year you've had.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got the proof of the pudding right here, TNT Championship.
Mm-hmm.
How can you wrap your head around this year?
In a lot of ways, I don't think I have still. I think it's one of those things where I'm doing my best to just take it as it comes and just approach every opportunity and just do the best I can with it. And then it's weird because doing that, it just accumulates and everyone starts going like, oh my God, look at this run you're having. And I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I'm just thinking about next week, thinking about the next match type thing. So it's cool to look back on, but yeah, I try my best to just look forward and to live in the present and just focus on what I'm doing right now.
Not every wrestler has that definitive moment though, where they get to go, I was this, and now I'm this.
Totally.
You have that, right?
Yeah.
It's you in the ring shaving your head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very clear statement of like, I'm not that guy anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Where'd that idea come from for that segment?
So it started off, we knew we were going to do this Ospreay feud, and that was what we were leaning towards. And it was just one of those things where I was getting sick of my hair, my blonde hair, and I was wanting to change it anyway. So I just broached the idea. I can't remember who I said it to originally, but I was just, it might've been in the room with Tony. I was like, hey, I want to get rid of my hair. Is there some way we could use it in this storyline? And the way we landed on was, me shaving it myself. It felt like a definitive change, a definitive moment of like, to me, I was literally shedding the skin of being an Ospreay shadow. Like I was trying to get out of that. So yeah, it started with me, but then it was, it's a pretty good idea. Let's run with it. So yeah, it was cool the way it came off in the end.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong with a segment like that.
Yeah. Big time.
Like the clippers may not turn on. Maybe they're not cutting for whatever reason.
Yep.
Everything seemed to go off without a hitch.
Just got to have that blind trust. Just hope for the best, man. It's live TV.
Were you nervous?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I also hadn't had like a buzzed head since I was 5 or 6 years old or something like that. So I'd never seen like the shape of my head as an adult. So I'm like, man, what if I go on TV and I have like weirdly shaped lumps or something like that? I don't know. So yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking.
But it went so well, right? And it's this defining moment of like, I'm not going to be that anymore. And even the promo. And I think that people sleep on that promo.
Thank you.
People talk a lot about the moment of you shaving your head, but the promo leading up to it, man, you're cutting this promo like you're a 20-year veteran in there.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I think that was a very, whenever you have a big moment like the head shaving, obviously that's going to be the thing that like sticks in people's head the most. But yeah, that promo was really important for me. I think it was the first chance I'd ever had at really telling like a deeper than surface level story, or deeper than like a couple of matches or 1 or 2 matches type thing. So for me, that was it. First time I'd had a live mic, and it was just, all right, go out there and make this story, make it into something. So like, it was a pretty big deal for me. And I'm just happy I didn't shit the bed too bad.
You turned the crowd.
Yeah.
Because they were starting to get maybe a little bit bored, and like chanting, wrap it up. And you just like, you paused. You had so much poise. And then you just kept going, and like, it was almost like, just wait till you see what I've got in store here.
Yeah, totally.
Where does that come from?
Man, that's a good question. I think it's just time, I think, is all it is. I've been wrestling for, I'm 26 years old, but I started training at 14. So I've been doing it a while. And I think it is one of those things where it just takes reps, and it just takes time. And it takes really finding that confidence in the ring, and finding that confidence within yourself, and like trusting that you can bring the crowd back, and you can take them where you want to go, and you can take them on this journey. But yeah, it's really just trusting yourself and trusting those instincts and that confidence that you have, I think.
Who were the promo guys you looked up to when you were a kid?
I think the very, this always gets a bit of a laugh. Growing up, I'm a little bit younger than a lot of wrestling fans. One of the people that first drew me in with their promos was The Miz. Growing up,
great on the mic.
I know, yeah. A lot of people have things to say about him now, but like I still think he's one of the best. I've always thought that.
He's just starting to get his flowers now.
Totally. And that's always how it happens as well. It's like right when they're on the way out, it's like, oh yeah, you know what? He was pretty good.
Yeah, that thing he did in 2011 was pretty good.
Right. Yeah. But I was 12 years old in 2011 going, this is the best. I'm awesome. So yeah, that was probably my first one. I think Cena is far and away like the best promo guy I've ever seen. Like the stuff in his final run, there have been a couple where I've just been like sitting there glued to the screen, just like, how is this guy just so amazing at what he does? Roman obviously now, and then there's like Hangman, I think is one of the best guys on the mic. Joe, every time he's on the mic, I'm so drawn into him. MJF as well. Those are kind of like probably where I draw the most inspiration from, I'd say, those guys.
The thing that all of those have in common is it's believability.
Totally.
And they make you believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about your promos too.
Thank you.
Because they're not just like words you've written down or words that someone's come up with. Yeah. Like, it just feels like you're just out there with the mic and you're talking.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's part of, not just with my promos, but something that I've always found very important in pro wrestling. It's like, if you want somebody else to feel an emotion or feel something when they watch you, you have to feel that emotion organically yourself. That's what helps it resonate with other people. So that's something that I've really, really tried to work on for me.
Before you shaved your head, you were getting a ton of comparisons to Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
It's one of those things where for a hot second, you take it as a compliment. And it's like at service level, it's like, oh, thanks. Like I think Will's incredible at what he does. So I take that as a compliment. But then I feel like the more I sit with it and the more I hear it, the more it makes me go, you know what? I don't want to be anyone else. I don't want to be a second coming of Will Ospreay. I think after shaving the head, I got a lot of Randy Ortons, and it's like the same feeling of, at first, that's really cool. Like that's a great comparison, but I really want to start carving my own path, and I don't want to be the second anybody else. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm focusing on, and just trying to carve my own path now.
Well, I think it's like the Randy Orton comparisons come from shaved head, right?
Of course.
But like, you're so jacked now.
Thank you.
A sleeve tattoo.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand it totally. Like it's not like I hold any ill will towards people that say that to me. Like it's a huge compliment. I think the world of both of those guys. But yeah, for me, it's now more important to start finding my individuality and finding who I am as a wrestler, and that being the first thing that people think when they see me instead of a second someone else, right?
what made you dial in your workouts and dial in your nutrition as much as you have?
Man, it's been a bit of a process. I think the first thing, it was during COVID. I moved back to Australia. I was living in the UK at the time. Everything shut down, so I moved back to Australia with my family, and I couldn't wrestle. I had to get a normal job or whatever it was, and I kind of...
What was it?
I was working in a warehouse for I guess like a furniture, like a... what's the comparison I would make over here? Like what's a department store? I don't know.
Like Macy's?
Macy's, yeah, something like that.
Or was it like more like IKEA?
They had like
have lots of
furniture. They
furniture.
had TVs. They had fridges. It was kind of just like one of those everything type stores,
Okay.
right? So yeah, stacking warehouse shelves and whatever. And it was during that, actually, I remember feeling super defeated, obviously, about everything. And I kind of had decided in my brain, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'll be a wrestler, but I could never be one of those jacked guys. I'll just not be a body guy. Like I'll just be like a good wrestler that looks whatever. And then I remember thinking that, and then almost instantly like thinking to myself, like, what am I talking about? Like, why would I not want to try my best and work my hardest? Like that seems ridiculous to me. So that was when it started. I had a lot more time on my hands. I wasn't wrestling as much. So I really started working on learning about nutrition for the first time, learning about my training for the first time properly. And then from there, when I moved back to the UK, I started working with the same coach that I work with now. His name's Dustin. He's been great. And then it got difficult for a while because I was still traveling a lot, doing Japan trips back to Australia, the US as well. So like when you're traveling that much, it's so hard to keep your nutrition in track. I did the best I could, but like it's still not the same. And then when I got signed to AEW back in 2023, for the first time I had like a schedule and a home base and like somewhere that I could always go back to. And that was really where it changed for me. It was like I would be on the road for a couple of days a week, but then as soon as I got home, it was like, all right, I'm in my kitchen, I have my gym, I have my bed, I have this routine, and I can really dial in everything. So that's kind of where it was. And I've been working with my coach, and just along with everything else that's been happening, like with my career and this past year and whatever, I just have this new renowned sense of I just need to work as hard as I possibly can. I have this like awesome opportunity in front of me. I'm 26 years old. I'm in a place that so many people would die to be in. And if I don't work as hard as possible, I'm kind of not doing it justice.
Yeah.
And being put in this awesome spot, I would be cheating myself if I didn't do everything I could to put my best foot forward every day. So that's kind of the mentality behind it all.
Well, it comes down to discipline.
Yeah,
right?
genuinely.
Like, are you willing to eat like this? Are you willing to go to bed on a routine?
Yeah.
Are you willing to find time to go to the gym?
Yeah.
And the answer for a lot of people is no.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
No judgment. But you're saying those are important to me. I'm going to work my day around making time for those things.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's been one of the biggest blessings in my life, falling in love with the gym. It's like, it's taught me so much about myself and about life and about my career and just the mentality that I've had to develop in order to get to where I am. So yeah, I think it's probably one of the most important things and one of the reasons that I'm finding success, just everything that the gym has taught me, really.
But if we look at a picture of you from just 1 year ago, and we look at you now, like completely different.
Totally.
Like huge transformation.
Yeah. And I think that comes down to just that always wanting to progress and always wanting to move forward and just using every day as an opportunity to get 1% better. And I think getting 1% better every day over a whole year, it amounts to massive change.
Pink seems to has become a theme for you.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, so that kind of started. It was earlier this year. I think it was a random tweet that jogged my memory. It was like, not enough men wear pink in wrestling. And I screenshotted it and I sent it to my gear designer, the guy that designs all my gear. And I was like, I have this idea. And I'd done like a triple red gear before, but in my brain it just like popped. I was like, triple pink, just for whatever reason. That was my idea. And then I just sent that to him and then we were like, all right, great. And he cooked this thing up. And I saw the design and I was like, this is the best gear I have ever had. I'm so excited. And then it ended up coming in time just as I found out I was going to be in the Owen tournament. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. I'll just wear it for the Owen tournament. That's great.
You think about the hearts, you think about pink.
It's perfect, right? So I wore it for that. It was Dynasty earlier this year. I wore that gear for the first time and just the reaction that it got, like, it was polarizing. It was like people loved it, people hated it, whatever it was. But I think whenever something like that happens, it's like it sets something off in my brain of like, that's something, whatever that is, like something that organically gets that much like reaction either way. It's like, that's something to tap into. So I was like, all right, I'm going to keep wearing this gear for a little bit, see what happens. And then like, I think I wore that one set of gear for a month or two. And by that point, everyone was like, pink is your thing now. Like, I think it's just like synonymous with you. So I was like, okay. And then since then, it's just been every set of gear I've had. It's like, all right, what can we do with pink this time? Let's change it up. Let's do something else. And then, yeah, the suits and stuff as well. Yeah, I think I've just found my thing. Found my niche.
Yeah, not only do you have a pink tie on, you've got the pink window pane.
Of course.
In the suit.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Yeah.
Got it. I'm sticking to it now. I kind of have to.
I'm sure it will evolve to be like pink accents in,
of course,
your gear.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a test of how creative can I get with the color pink.
Right.
Literally.
How many shades of pink?
Exactly. Yeah. We'll see how long it takes before I run out.
I didn't know Protostar was a real word.
Yeah.
Like I thought you were taking the word prototype and star, putting them together.
Yeah. So that's kind of my spin on it. That's the spin that I've put on it. But the original, I guess, moniker came from the word and the definition of Protostar,
which is like it's
like the baby form of a star. You want to get the actual definition?
I opened it up here.
Please.
It's a contracting mass of gas,
there you go,
which represents an early stage in the formation of a star before nucleosynthesis has begun.
There you go. Protostar.
So like an early version of a star.
Exactly, yeah. And when I got given the name, it was like, yeah, it was kind of, that was the direction I was heading. It was like, oh, it looks like you're going to be a star. So it just made sense and it's kind of stuck.
It has stuck. I mean, it sounds really cool too.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of stumbled on it accidentally, organically, but yeah, now I'm stuck with it, just like the pink.
Do you feel the weight of your colleagues, your friends, fans saying, you're going to be a future star?
In a lot of ways, yes, but I think none of it even comes close to the pressure that I put on myself. I think my whole life, I've kind of felt this, like, even before I knew I wanted to be a wrestler, I felt this, like, this calling that I was meant to do something big, that I was meant to be somebody. So when I fell into wrestling and I was like, yes, this is my thing, I always knew I wanted to be the best. I knew I wanted to be world champion. So I think it's more so the pressure that I put on myself. And it's, I think when I hear other people say things like that, it's almost more reaffirming to me that this thing that I felt, this drive that I feel, that it is paying off and it's for a reason, and that I'm just exactly where I'm meant to be.
Getting a great night's sleep is one of life's finest luxuries. You got to check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. They're inspired by NASA, and they have silver infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Also, say goodbye to those gross odors. Because they're infused with silver, they prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, so that means you get fresher sheets up to 3 times longer. Miracle sheets are so comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and they feel just as good as sheets you'd have in a 5-star hotel. If you've tried everything else, try Miracle. Upgrade your sleep this year by going to trymiracle.com/CVV. And whether you're buying them for yourself or you're buying them as a gift for a loved one, you're already going to save over 40% if you order today. But if you use the code CVV at checkout, you'll get an additional 20% off plus a free 3-piece towel kit. That's trymiracle.com/CVV.
If/when you become world champion, you will be the first Australian-born man to be a world champion.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's historic.
Yeah. I think the more, it's crazy because starting out in Australia back in 2013, it was like no Australian had ever made it to WWE at the time, or like majorly overseas. So now to have not only me, but so many other Australians doing awesome things, it's so cool. And if I can be the first man to become a world champion, that means a lot to me, because I remember what it was like to look at the big leagues and not see a single Australian and be like, oh man, this dream that I have seems so far-fetched, because I haven't seen anyone do it. So if I can be somebody that can show even not just young Australians, but young people in the world, that even if a dream seems far-fetched, that it's possible, then that's just another awesome cherry on top.
Who was it early on? I mean, Nathan Jones, I guess.
Nathan Jones, but that was even before me. That was like 2000,
like early 2000s.
Early 2000s. So yeah. I was born in 98. So at that time I wasn't watching wrestling.
So then after that, it's Tenille
and Buddy, I think were the first ones that I saw. In NXT.
And then from there we get the Iconics. Obviously Rhea, Grayson Waller.
Yep.
Like it's become this Australian influx. I don't know if you saw it. Grayson was on my show recently.
Yeah,
he mentioned you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was actually, I don't know if I was there the day that Grayson started, but we started at the same school, and I started a couple years earlier than him. So I was there for his early days at the Pro Wrestling Academy in Australia. So it's just stuff like that. It's so cool to see just people from back then, people from all over my travels doing so cool. Not like at the same place or like on the same path as me, but like being able to watch it from afar, it's really rewarding for me as well.
I think one of the biggest parts of your story that doesn't get keyed in on enough is you knew you weren't going to make it in Australia, so you moved to the UK.
Yeah.
Like that is such a massive move.
Sure.
To move half a world away.
Yeah.
Just on the hope that it might work out.
Pretty much, yeah. It was, I remember, I think it was like my last year of school, all throughout, I was trying to be like, I just know that it isn't going to work here. Like I have to do something. Like what is the next step? How do I put that next foot forward in my career? And the UK scene was popping off. I had some mutual friends that had gone over for little stints or whatever it was. And that was the easiest next step. It was easy for me to get a work visa. I was 18 years old and I straight out of school, I applied for my visa and just moved. I had maybe one mutual friend, Trent Seven. He was the one that let me stay in his house. He sublet to me. And from there it was just, fend for yourself pretty much.
But a lot of people have a dream and they're not willing to go to the town over.
Yeah.
They're not willing to leave the comfort of what they know.
Yeah, totally.
And here you are going, I'm going to go to another country and try to figure it out.
Yeah, man. It just came down to how bad did I want it? How bad did I want to be successful? And I think I just from that alone, I was willing to sacrifice my whole life, sacrifice the comforts of home where I grew up, just on, like you said, the chance, just the hope that it would happen. And I think I made the right call.
I'd say it's working out for you.
Yeah, exactly.
When did you move to the US?
So I officially didn't move until I signed with AEW in 2023. So it was like May we signed contract and June officially moved into apartment.
And where's home for you now?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. With the area Sky Blue grew up. That was the easiest place.
Sounds cold.
It's
like I'm from
cold.
Toronto. I get it.
It's getting cold. Yeah. But I will say growing up in Australia, we never got to experience like all the seasons.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's now getting cold and the leaves are turning red and all the leaves are on the ground.
This is a great time of the year.
Oh,
and Chicago's an amazing city.
Every time I walk outside, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then there's going to be snow on the ground soon. I'm going to be like, this is cool. You know.
Then the snow stays until about April, and you're like,
and then I got to shovel my driveway, and then I'm like, oh, why did I do this to myself? Yeah.
Like I get it. You know, Australia doesn't get to have all the seasons, but Daniel Tosh had this bit. He's like, I love the seasons. I just pick the best one and always live in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. Yeah, I can see myself in a couple of years maybe changing my mind. We'll see.
Who knows?
Who
but
knows?
Like, I think that there's a lot of opportunities like living in the US.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're quick flight away from most of the AEW shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes things easy.
Yeah, Chicago's I have direct flights everywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm set for now.
What gave you that belief in yourself that it was going to work out?
Ooh, I think it just comes back to that. It's hard. It's really hard to describe, but when you're young and you just have that feeling that you're meant for something and you're meant for something big and you don't know exactly what it is, but you just feel this calling, whatever it is. And for me, that was pro wrestling. I just loved it with everything I was. And I just knew, I didn't know what the end picture looked like. I didn't know what the path looked like, but I just knew that was my calling. It called to me. And I was like, this is the only thing that makes me happy. This is the only thing that I want to do with my life. So like, it doesn't really matter what the end goal is. Like, this is my thing and I'm just going to pursue it. And wherever I end up and I'll figure it out. Like, yeah, it's very hard to describe what that feeling is because even now, like I can't tell you what it was and I can't tell you what it was that called me towards it, but I just knew that this was what I was meant to do with my life. So I just went after it relentlessly. Before
you signed with AEW, I know there was some interest from WWE.
Sure.
How close were you to signing there?
Yeah, it was a toss-up for a while. We had one kind of like official, at the time it was myself and Mark Davis as Aussie Open. We had like a Zoom call with them. We kind of spoke about what the deal would entail and that sort of thing. And I think when it got to that point, it just didn't feel like the right fit at the time. So we didn't get super close. It was kind of like at the point where there was options there. But AEW was just the right fit for us at the time, for sure.
What made it the right fit?
I think we'd kind of, we were lucky enough that we'd worked there a couple of times. We got brought in as a part of New Japan to do a couple of things. And I think it was the vibe there. It was, I think, to me, it was, I don't want to say the freedom, but I think there's a lot of trust there that I can produce the wrestling I want to produce and I can wrestle the way that I love to wrestle. And I think experiencing that beforehand and knowing that, I think that was what kind of drew me towards AEW for sure.
You get signed as a tag team wrestler.
Yeah.
You've now had this breakout year as a single star. How different has it been adjusting to working as a singles guy?
Yeah, I think being in a tag team a lot of the times, it was almost like a crutch, not in a bad way, but it was a good thing. I was always able to bounce my idea off at least one other person, and it was a collaborative thing. It was like the matches that we would create, it was like one idea from here, one idea from here, one idea from here, and then it meshes together to create something really awesome. Whereas when you're a singles wrestler and you're doing your own promos and your own matches, it's a lot of the creative stuff just comes from your own brain. So I think I had a lot of stuff to get over where like I was second guessing my own ideas and opinions because it was all my brainchild. If I go out there and I do something that like is totally my idea, if it sucks,
it's on
then
you.
I feel terrible. I'm like, oh, my idea sucked, dude. So I think that was kind of the biggest hurdle to get over. But now, and I think when I found that confidence and started trusting my own instincts, I think that's when it really switched for me.
What do you think was the breakout match for you?
I think it has to be Full Gear with Ospreay for sure. I think maybe before that, the first match we had on Dynamite, I think that was kind of the first. Man, there's so many. I feel like I keep talking about one,
the cage
and there's
match,
like another
right?
one. No, so I was talking about the Full Gear match was
Okay.
the first pay-per-view one we had. But before that, we wrestled right after he had signed full time. Back in March of 24, we wrestled on a Dynamite. And that was the first time I'd been given, it was Dynamite main event. We got given 3 segments. It was my first big TV match. And I think that after that, a lot of people came out and they were like, man, I didn't know you could wrestle like that. And then before that, it was like in 1 week, I wrestled Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega in like the same week. I think that was the first one where I was like, okay, this is weird. This feels crazy. But
also that they're trusting you
totally
to be in that spot.
Yeah, that felt pretty cool for sure. But then like that, and then to go out there, have a cool match, and then afterwards have them be so like complimentary and like putting me over, and like that was a mind trip for sure. But yeah, I think probably, like you said, the first one where I kind of felt comfortable. I felt that confidence for the first time was that Full Gear with Ospreay, I think was the real turning point.
There's definitely something about the way you work with Ospreay where like you guys aren't afraid to hit each other hard.
Not even a little bit. I think we're both the same kind of insane where like that is the wrestling that we both love to watch. So I think when we're in there, we like have that relationship where it's like, if I get backstage and he kicked me square in the face, like we're going to laugh it off afterwards. So like we just care about putting on the best pro wrestling possible. And like we were talking about earlier, it's that believability. I think I love that believability so much that I'm like, yeah, man, if you want to kick me in the face, that's even better. Like it just makes it that much better. We're both a little bit insane like that.
That cage match that you had with Will Ospreay was wild.
Thank you.
And like, not only was it hard hitting, but like you guys were just insane.
Yeah.
And you can't practice a Spanish fly off the top of a cage.
No, you cannot.
How did you know it would work?
Well, the funny thing is I don't think we did entirely. I think it's a lot of trust in each other. I think that was the main thing. I think we have this level of trust with each other, where it's like, no, I literally trust you with my life, and I feel like he feels the same. So I think we both went out there and we wanted to make a moment. We wanted to make it something people would remember forever. So I think that was kind of where we landed. We were like, yeah, why not?
How bad did the styles clash on the tax hurt?
Not as bad as you'd think. I think
it's a very sensitive area that you landed
so
on.
it was, the funniest part was it was mostly like my bare thighs and my quads that got the tax. So like for the next 2 weeks or whatever it was like bing, 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 just all these dots all over my quads. That was pretty funny. But yeah, it's funny, man. Like in those big matches, especially one like that, the adrenaline is so high that like, even if it hurts a little bit, like it doesn't even register in my brain. Like I'm more so thinking like, whilst it's happening, I'm thinking about camera shots and selling and my face and, and there's so many things going through my brain at the time. So it didn't even cross my mind, really.
How has the screwdriver become your weapon of choice?
Blame Don Callis for that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think I've gotten pretty good at stabbing people, though.
Yeah, it looks vicious.
Hell yeah.
I mean, when you jabbed it in Dustin Rhodes' leg.
Yeah, man.
It's like, I don't know how you can fake that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's I like it because it's something that a lot of people not can relate to. They can't relate to being stabbed with a screwdriver, but most people have held a screwdriver in their hands.
Yeah, most people have a screwdriver in their house.
Exactly.
Right.
So like, I think they could pick up a screwdriver and go, he got stabbed with this? What the hell? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I like it, I think.
What's been the most painful thing you've done in a match?
Wow. Honestly, I took it's one of the most random things, and you would never expect it. I think it was the Continental Classic match I had with Mark Briscoe. I was just climbing up the guardrail. He came and stopped me, and we did like a little baby superplex is what we called it. Baby superplex off the guardrail to the floor. For whatever reason, whatever angle I hit the ground, it was like all tailbone. And I swear, I felt like I was pissing blood. I felt like my butthole had fallen out. Like it was the craziest feeling I'd ever felt in my life. I was like laying on the ground, like, please leave me here for a good 10 seconds at least. I need to figure out if I'm okay right now.
And it's not even like a super cool move.
Nope. It's really not.
Did you actually piss blood?
No, I did not. I was totally fine. But like whatever feeling I felt at that time, I was like, it felt like everything had exploded and I was just not having a good time at all. Yeah.
I feel like the match you had with Hangman was like a star-making match.
Sure.
I mean, it's a world title match. There's a lot on the line, a lot of eyeballs on that match.
Yeah.
But you did some like crazy things in that match. Like I think it begins with like, it's the suplex on the outside.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh, that was a rough landing.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, the match itself and the whole build up to it was, I mean, we talk about that like feeling, that belief that I'm going to be something. That was like, that's what you dream of. That's what I dreamt. Like that first world title match, those like big world title matches, main eventing pay-per-views, that has been the dream my whole life to get to that point. So like that whole just being presented with that opportunity was crazy to me. And we go back to that pressure that I put on myself. That's the most pressure I've felt in my whole life in the lead up to that and being out there for that match. So just the fact that it went off as well as it did and got spoken of as highly as it did, it was it was pretty cool for me.
The dead eye off the top rope.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm a bit insane. What do you want from me?
You landed on your head.
Yeah, man.
That could have gone so bad.
Yeah, it didn't though.
No, okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
We're gravy.
I think what doesn't get talked about enough is, I don't know, a few minutes before that, the dead eye to the outside through the table.
Yeah.
Was nasty.
Yeah, I think if you go back and watch it, I think that one was worse because Hangman's knees, they like kind of scooched the table out of the way. I pretty much go like even more headfirst directly to the ground from the apron. So I feel like that one was actually didn't look as crazy, but that one felt a bit worse.
Is there any trepidation as you're putting the match together going, yeah, that might not go right?
Nah. There's like half a second of it, but then like in my head I go, nah, it would be really cool though. And then I just do it anyway. I feel like it's for me, it's just that I'm so committed to this and so in love with this that like if it's gonna make the match cool and it's gonna make the match even crazier, then I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Why not?
But is there a line that you won't cross? Like, is there a line of like, that's a bad idea, but would look really cool, but let's not touch it?
I haven't got there yet. So I'll let you know. I think the Spanish was probably the one where I was like, this is getting close to the line. We were pretty close to not doing that one.
What pushed it over the edge?
I think it was that trust that we have in each other. I think if it was anybody else, he probably would have said no. But I think because it was me and we have that real life trust in each other, he was like, fine. I kind of pushed his, whatever it was, pulled his arm a little bit.
This is a slippery slope though, Kyle.
It is.
Because the next time you have a cage match,
what am I going to do?
You're going to have to outdo that.
That's a promise.
But that also sounds like a threat.
It is.
But like, do you have like a note section in your phone where you're like, next time I work with so-and-so, next time I have this stipulation of a match. Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're nodding.
Every time I have a notes app of just like random ideas. And then I have every time I know I have a match coming up, I start like a specific notes for that person or that match specifically. So I have, there's a lot of random ideas floating around.
Oh my goodness. So who's the person you haven't worked with yet that you can't wait to get in there with?
I think the one that I keep talking about is I really want to get in there with Samoa Joe. I think that would be a really cool one for me and a really cool test for me. It's someone that I've been watching for a decade plus, so that's someone that I would love to get in there with. And other than that, I've been pretty blessed. Like I've been lucky enough to get in there with a lot of the people that I looked up to, like growing up. So I don't know if there's a lot of people left, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of fans say that some wrestling events have become so predictable lately. Well, take some of that wrestling knowledge you have, the one that makes it feel so predictable, and turn it into a little extra money only with MyBookie. And it's not just WWE. You can also get in on the action with football, basketball, hockey, UFC, all of it. And if you're new, use my code CVV and grab the bet back bonus on your first wager up to $500. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only at MyBookie.
Pretty cool you got to work with Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not just work with Dustin Rhodes, work with him in the kind of match that you worked with him in.
Totally.
And also to win this championship here.
Yeah, it was pretty special, man. He was, another one that I probably saw him wrestle for the first time when I was 8 years old or 9 years old or whatever it was. So like, yeah, there's a lot of moments like that where they feel pretty special. And this one especially, yeah, and he was so cool and so good to work with. And I think even more so, like when someone like that is giving you that kind of praise and that kind of like that stamp of approval, that's a pretty cool feeling.
Whose idea was it for the glove with thumbtacks on it?
It was Dustin's idea. Of course it was. Yeah, that was, he was so like, he's so polite and so nice. He's like, it's fine. If you don't want to do any of this, if it's fine, it's whatever. I'm like, nah, man, come on, give it to me. Stab me in the head with thumbtacks, whatever. It'll be cool. It'll look cool.
It was a brutal match.
Yeah, it was very cool. And he was very giving, very, very excited, and just, he's, God, I don't know how old he is now, but he's,
I think it's 56.
50. There you go. You know better than me. But to be 56 years old and doing some of the stuff that he's doing, man, the stuff that he did in that match, man, I have to respect it. I just hope I'm like half the wrestler he is at that age.
It's crazy when you break it down. I believe he's 56. We'll look it up in a second here, but you're less, like he's more than double your age.
Yeah.
When you think about it like that.
He's been wrestling since longer than I've been alive, like literally.
What? That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to look this up right now. I believe it's 56. Are you able to put into words what being the TNT champion means to you?
Oh, I can try.
56.
Look at you.
Wow.
Knowing your numbers.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of things.
You pull that out of
but
nowhere.
I knew that one.
Yeah, hell yeah. Man, being being TNT champion, it's kind of like it's hard because wrestling championships, they're not real, right? They're not technically like a real achievement. And a lot of people are very quick to tell you like they don't matter, they're prop, like whatever. To me, like this is a physical thing, something that I can hold in my actual hands that represents all the hard work I've put in to get to this point. And AEW is a company that I've watched since the beginning from afar. It's somewhere that I've always wanted to get to. It was like something I strived for. The TNT Championship, I remember it being introduced for the first time, and like it didn't even seem like something that was attainable at that time. When I saw it get brought out for the first time, when I saw the belt for the first time, it didn't feel like something that could even happen. It didn't even cross my mind. But like to now be sitting here and actually like this thing is in my suitcase every time I travel for work, and like every time I open it up at TSA, like it's there, and it's like this physical thing, and it's 10 years, it's 12 years, it's my whole life. It's something that I can actually hold in my hands, and I think to myself every time, I'm like, this is what I worked so hard for, and this is everything I've dedicated my life to. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what it means to me.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Does this come out every time you go through TSA?
Has to. I just put my bag through a lot of the times and like not take it out.
Yeah, and then it's
every time
they
have to take it out anyway. So like now, before I go through, I take it out and put it in its own little tray, and everyone starts going,
"Oh, what's that?
Who's the champion?"
What's the number one question you get when you're going through the TSA line?
Ooh, I think it's who's the, because I'm always with Sky as well. So I think a lot of the time they're like, who's the champion is the question.
Yeah.
They look down the line and they go, who's the champion? Or like if it does get pulled, it's who's the champion? Who's the champion? Yeah.
And they're like, is it boxing?
Pretty much.
Wrestling,
yeah.
MMA?
Literally. And then I have to stand there for 5 minutes answering questions. It's great. Good times.
Are you best friends with Chris Jericho?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. My guy.
For
big fuzzy guy.
Yeah, man. Fozzy has some great hits.
They do.
Yeah. Where does it go from here? There's all, like you talked about, you put this pressure on yourself. There's this outside pressure that people are putting on you. You're taking this one day at a time, but if you look ahead 1, 2, 3 years,
yeah,
what does it look like for you?
I think every time I get asked this question, my big overall, my big picture goal, the one that I've always had, is to be the greatest of all time. And I think that is such a big thing, and a big whatever question name, like big thing to put on myself of like, that's where I want to get to.
It's a massive goal.
That's and I think I'm the kind of person where I always want to be working towards something. So to put a goal that massive in front of me, it assures that I will never stop working towards something. I think it's also something that is like, it's not a material thing.
It's not tangible.
Exactly.
Right? Like if you say my goal is to make $1 million, it's tangible. My goal is to win X amount of championships.
Yeah.
It's tangible.
Yeah. And I think for me, every time I've had a goal like that, and I've been lucky enough to achieve a lot of goals like that, it's always the next day or the next week or whatever it is, I end up feeling like empty in a way because I've achieved it.
Well, it's like, what's next?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to wrap your head around, but I think putting a massive goal like greatest of all time in front of me.
What does that even mean though?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
What does it mean to you?
I think to me, it means when I'm done when I've wrapped it up, I want to believe in my heart that I reached my fullest potential. I think I have hopefully a lot of potential still to come, a lot of things, a lot of goals that I want to achieve. And I think, when I'm all said and done, I want to feel like I did everything I could, and I want other people to, I want to be spoken about for years after I'm done, years after I'm not on this earth anymore. I want to be spoken about in that best of all time conversation. And that's kind of, it's not something that is, like you said, tangible. It's not something that is something that I can get to a certain point and be like, all right, I'm done it now, like whatever. It's something that I'll always be working towards, which I think is what I want.
Is that something you measure by matches, promos, championships, maybe all of that together?
I think all of it. Yeah. I think there's so many different ways to view success, especially in professional wrestling. I think it's also the relationships that I make along the way, and like how people that I work with view me, and did they enjoy working with me, and like, was I pleasant to be around, and that kind of thing. So I think, there's a lot of different ways to measure it. And I think it's just being the best at, or the best that I can be at every single one of those things.
You're in AEW for a while, it seems. Like you just signed a new contract,
I did,
right?
This year.
How does that feel?
Man, it felt really cool. I was on a beach in Jamaica when I signed my contract.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And you're getting this great news of like, yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. It was pretty surreal, man. It was one of those moments that I thought about my whole life, signing that first big deal. And it's like, it gave me a bit of like, I hate throwing around like buzzwords, but like imposter syndrome. It made me feel like I was like, man, when I was growing up, I thought there were maybe one or two people with these kind of contracts in the whole world of professional wrestling. And like, here I am. Like it's a very weird feeling. It's very weird to realize that like, man, this spot that I'm in is, it's pretty cool. It's pretty big. It's pretty special. Not a lot of people get to this level.
It also speaks to the hard work that you put in.
Yeah.
Like going back to what we were talking about earlier, betting on yourself, moving to a new country, hoping it might work out there, figuring things out. It's all coming together.
Yeah, totally.
It's pretty amazing how that can work out.
Yeah. It's just the journey of life, man. Like stuff just happens and opportunities present themselves, and this one opportunity, you meet someone and then it just goes this way. And then this random thing happens and you go back this way. And then somehow you end up here. It's just the way life works. It's funny, man.
Where do you draw your inspiration from? It may not even be wrestling. It may be other sports or movies or TV.
Yeah. I think a lot of my inspiration is a bunch of different things. I think bodybuilding's like a big one for me now, especially.
Are there specific bodybuilders?
Yeah, like Tom Platz, Ronnie Coleman, more recently, like Chris Bumstead's a guy that I love to watch. Urs is another one that's coming out now. Just the way they think about like life, and the way they think about their craft, and like perfecting their craft and their bodies, and the amount of like time and work that goes into it. I think that is something that I've drawn a lot of inspiration from. And then like in turn, not only put that into the gym, but taking that over to wrestling as well. And like having that feeling of like, this is what I'm meant to do. And then pouring everything that you possibly can into it. That's something that I think I've kind of got from that.
I love listening to C-Bum on podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that idea of discipline is like, whether you want to do it or not, you're doing it. You're going to be on the stair climber for an hour today. You're going to eat these macros, and it's chest day today. So you have to do these exercises. And I love that if you break it down to like this granular level, it's you don't think of success as this one big thing. You think of it as like, if I do this and this and this and this and this and this today, today's a win.
Yeah.
And then if I wake up tomorrow and I also have that agreement with myself that I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this, then I win tomorrow too.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
It's so cool. Yeah, you nailed it. I think for me, the bodybuilding side of things and like the work that I put into my body and nutrition and whatever, it gives me those daily goals and those daily tasks and those like, when you have a goal like greatest of all time, it's so easy to get lost in looking at that. Whereas if I have things every single day that I know if I do those things every single day and I do that today and I do that tomorrow and I do that the next day, in 20 years time, that's what's going to get me to greatest of all time. And no one's going to see that work. People are going to see the end goal, but like that's the stuff that it takes, the stuff that nobody sees.
Yeah, yeah. What about promos or athleticism? Where else do you draw the inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I've been like a sporty person my whole life. I grew up playing sports, so like the athleticism side of things was always kind of there.
What
like,
sports?
My biggest one was rugby league in Australia is a big one. Of course,
yeah.
So I grew up, before I fell in love with pro wrestling at like 8 or whatever it was, I was convinced I was going to play in the NRL. I was going to play for the Manly Sea Eagles. So that was my first like big dream, big goal. So that's, yeah. And then I grew up, I did martial arts, Kempo karate up until I was, probably started wrestling training. I was a first Dan black belt in Kempo karate. So like, yeah, I've been athletic my whole life. So that stuff comes pretty easy to me. And then other than that, like promo wise and stuff, I've tried to take a lot of inspiration from like big villains and big superhero movies and stuff like that. Like I'm a big Marvel movie guy. Yeah. So like a lot of you look at, and then like big Dragon Ball Z guy as well, big anime guy. So like if you look at those villains in a lot of those, they kind of, the way they speak and their reasonings for doing a lot of things, they become this like insurmountable, like strongest person, and like the good guy has to like do all this stuff to get strong enough to overcome this big evil villain. But like the villain also has these layers, and it's like they have, the reason they're like this is because of this thing that happened to them, and like in their brain, everything they're doing is the right thing to do.
Yeah, they justify it.
Yes,
so they have their own why.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I've really tried to emulate in my wrestling and in my character. I think we're talking about the first shave head promo that I did. I think in that promo, a lot of what I wanted to do was like justify why I stabbed my best friend in the head with a screwdriver. Like that's, you look at that and you go, why would you do that? And like in my head, I'm explaining why I did it and exactly why it was the right thing to do. So that was something that I tried to kind of draw from that kind of side of things, those like big villains and
I love that
books and stuff.
I'm fascinated by the idea that the bad guy in a movie, the villain in a movie, doesn't think that they're the bad guy.
No, yeah.
They are completely justified in their actions. I think it was best done with Thanos. Like, why does he want to get rid of half the world's population? Oh, wow. Huh. If I put myself in his shoes.
Makes sense.
I kind of empathize with him a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, it's totally insane, but I guess it makes sense. I get where he's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's a fascinating thing. No Bond villain thinks that they're the villain. Mm-hmm. They're like, no, you just got to see it through my perspective.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by that. And I love how you've brought that to wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of like, if you can just see my why, if you can just understand the way that I see it, it'll make sense to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In my story, maybe it's why a lot of people, people in interviews always ask me, or like people on the street, it's like, oh, you a good guy or a bad guy? It's my answer's always depends on your perspective. To me, maybe I'm the good guy. Maybe I'm the one that's doing everything right, and I'm living to my values and my morals, and I'm abiding by those. So yeah, it's perspective.
Yeah, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just doing my thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Do you want to get as big as a bodybuilder?
In a dream world, yes, that would be cool. I think so. I think I would love to compete at some stage. That is something that like a big goal that I would like to work towards. But like I said, I don't really do anything half-assed, so I don't want to do it until I'm like confident that I'm going to win a show, if that makes sense. So
Sure.
I think it's a big goal somewhere down the line. I would like to, for sure.
So what do you weigh right now?
Monday morning, I was 230, just over 230, 230.6 or something like that.
So you'd want to be 250, 260?
So yeah, I think so. So I kind of go up and down. Like I'm doing bulks and cuts, kind of. So I always like moving in a certain direction. So at the moment, I'm trying to put on some more size, and then at the end of that, I'll cut back down.
But then when you put on some size, you lose some abs.
Exactly.
Scary
thing. It's hard. So yeah, the goal now, I would like to get up to the heaviest I've been before is like just under 235. I'd like to crack 240 at least. I'd like to get close to 250.
See what you look like.
See what I look like. And then it's all about shredding the fat off, keeping the muscle, and then seeing what I look like then. So like at the end of that phase, if I could be, I think at the end of my last big cut, I was like just under 210. So if I could be at the end of that next cut closer to 220, that's a good goal to work
and
towards.
A shredded 220?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think you're a lot bigger than people realize.
Sure.
Like I don't know if people realize that you're 6'3"?
6'4", yeah.
6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah, like so you're as tall as Randy Orton too.
Yes.
So not only do you
not quite here yet, but you know.
Man, he's got that dad strength now.
Tell me about it. What did he say he was, like 280 recently?
I think so.
The dream.
Just eating Nutella
Just the dream.
out of the tub.
Man, I'll get there.
But I don't think people realize that. For whatever reason.
Yeah. I think TV is like a weird thing. It's not the same as seeing someone in person. Like you can see someone on TV for years, and then you see them in person. You are blown away by how big or small they are. It's like it's a weird perception thing. So like I get it a lot. It's like, oh, you're taller than I imagined. You're bigger than I imagined. It never really sinks in until you're in person sitting next to someone.
Like we'll post the photo from this interview, and people will either say that I'm way shorter than they thought, or that you're way taller than they thought.
Definitely,
it'll be one or the other. Maybe it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Who knows?
That's cool, man. What are you? 6?
Oh, that's very kind of you. My height does not begin with a 6.
Never mind.
That's very kind of
cut
you.
That. You can edit it.
No, I'm 5'10", like
that's close enough. 6 foot.
186.
Oh, the shirt's doing you.
It's
you nice.
It's a good. The camera adds 10 pounds.
Totally.
Yeah. Very kind.
You're
of
doing
you.
good. Don't worry.
6'1", 210.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bump it up to 220, bro.
Oh,
No
220.
One's gonna,
No one knows.
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want.
Definitely. I'm like 270, I don't know.
Easily, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
6'7".
Definitely.
Yeah.
7,
7 foot.
Yep. Me and Satnam Singh like this.
But congratulations on an incredible year.
Thanks, man.
And it's to be able to sit here towards the end of 2025 and look back on this year, amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then to look ahead at what's next.
That's it.
It's exciting.
I try not. I don't like reminiscing too much. It's nice to reminisce, but it's always about what you do next, and it's always about moving forward. So I'm looking forward to what's next.
I think it's important to look back to see what you've accomplished and how far you've come.
Yeah.
To realize like, oh my gosh, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
And look what I'm doing now.
But then think about another year from now.
Right. You think that you've climbed the mountain, and then someone goes, oh no, that's actually the summit.
Exactly.
And then you get to that one and you go, oh no. Yeah. Look up even more.
That's it.
I love that.
That's the dream, man.
So I'll ask you the question that I ask everybody at the end.
Please.
Again, congratulations on an amazing year, and thank you for this great conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Gratitude's such a huge part of my life,
a
huge component of my life and what I do. What are 3 things in your life that you're grateful for right now, Kyle?
Firstly, I am grateful for my health, my body, the fact that I am able to do what I do, that I am able to go to the gym every day and train my hardest, and just having the physical capability of doing that. I realize that's something that not a lot of people don't have, and they wish they did have. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for my career, I guess, is what you'd call it. The fact that I have a life driven by purpose, something that I love so, so deeply, that I am able to pour every single second into. Every single ounce of energy that I have goes into this, and I'm grateful that I have something I love and care about that deeply, and that gives me purpose and something to work towards every single day. And I'm grateful for the people in my life and the relationships that wrestling has given me. Most of the people that I love deeply, the people that I hold closest, the people that I've met through wrestling. And I'm grateful for all of those people, the support that they give me, the fact I wouldn't be able to do any of this without that support. My family back home, my mum has been my biggest supporter my whole life. It's not easy to let a 12-year-old get on a train and go to a couple hours down south, like I'm just going to go wrestle in some random person's backyard. It's fine. Don't worry about it, mum. She was great, and she's been my biggest support my whole life. My family's been my biggest support. Obviously, moved across the world. It's not an easy thing to do, but everyone in my life has been so supportive of this dream of mine. And yeah, I'm very grateful for them and grateful that I have such a good support system in my life. And yeah, I'm a very blessed man in general.
What a way to end it.
Hell yeah.
Thanks again.
Appreciate you. Thank you.